Teens are happy, kids are happy, they're out of school, but are they a little too much in summer mode? The summer slide can be a slippery slope for some kids. Joining me now is Mindy Barron of Ignite Teen Treatment. Good to see you again. Thanks for being here. It is a good time for kids, but there are some challenges when you find yourself, or when kids, specifically teens, find themselves with all this unstructured time on their hands.
Absolutely. The summertime is the time that you look forward to. The tests are done, everything's done, you're ready to go. And then you have teens and they're at home and they don't have a schedule, the parents are at work. There are parties happening, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of room for trouble in those spaces.
Well, yeah, because mom and dad often are at work, and they hope their kids are not into any trouble. But, you know, it doesn't take long for a party to just all of a sudden appear somewhere, and trouble could ensue.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then you look at things like schedule and just waking up on time and going to sleep on time, a normal diet. And we see just an increase in behavioral issues that take place during the summer.
So what can you do then with your kid to keep him or her motivated when there is all this free time?
So keeping your teen kind of safe and structured through the summer is broken down, in my opinion, into three parts. Number one, you have to do some research, right? You have to look into what do teens want to do, what are some fun events, structuring, is it hiking, is it sports, is it going places, is it a movie, and knowing what's out there so that they don't make choices on their own that may not be the ones you want.
Right.
The second thing is having a schedule. That doesn't mean you have to wake up at 6 a.m. and run a military schedule. It does mean have a normal bedtime, have a curfew. Yeah. If you're going to stay out later on certain days, make that not the norm and something that you work into the schedule. Have normal eating times, which without eating properly, especially during the summer, can throw off behaviors, can throw off hormones. And then the third piece is checking in, right? A lot of times we see an increase in issues, but the parents don't know their issues, right? You know when there's an issue when your kid's in school, and something goes wrong, and the school calls you and says they didn't make this class, they didn't get to here, they didn't arrive there. When there's no schedule and you're not tracking it, and you're not checking in, you're not going to know.
Right.
And so parents are, I always encourage them, check in often, check in with their friends. Just how you doing, what's going on, what are you doing, what are your plans? I encourage parents to have their teens use a planner, so you can schedule things out so you both are on the same page about what's going on and what's coming up. And if you do it in that fashion, you're organized, then you can help really prevent a lot of issues.
What would you think about this? And this is something I do with my kids. Because of technology now, if they want to have a phone, the rule is that they have to have it set so that their mom or myself can see their location at any given time.
Yes. That is amazing, and I'll tell you why. Most parents, or a lot of parents, when it comes to dealing with teens, they're afraid. I don't want to invade. I don't want to sneak up on them. I don't want to have to trick them or lie to them. I don't want to, and the teens will push back. When you're transparent up front, and you tell them, hey, you can lose trust. When you lose trust, you can earn trust, and you earn trust. I reserve the right to check in. I reserve the right to know where you are, and if there's no problem, we don't have a problem. That's much better.
So being transparent,
being upfront about it, coming in from the beginning, then you don't have to feel invasive. And you don't have to feel punitive. Just this is what it is. This is a relationship. This is trust.
And as I tell them, you don't have to have a phone.
You sure you're not a teen therapist?
So what is the key then beyond that to getting kids now, they don't want to hear about this, but as you get closer to the school year, what sort of things do you start doing to get them back into a mode of more structure and learning?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a fair question, especially with the school year starting much earlier this year. It is really bringing that up and letting them know, like, hey, if you don't get back into the structure, you're going to fall behind. And my goal as a parent is to make sure that you don't, and that you can enter this and you can have a really good year. So you do start getting back into school mode. You start, studying, reading some books, studying a little bit, taking some, mini exams, going online, just getting back into a schedule, getting back into a routine. And it's important to start that earlier. It's really paramount to get into a good year, especially, again, with the summer getting...
it is. It's so much shorter, it seems. All right, Mindy, always good to have you with us. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Very, very much.